guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Big hug. I'm excited you're here. This is creativity and inspiration. Woo! I don't know why I started doing that. I just feel like doing it. And I'm Lisa, and this is my home, my channel, where I try to give you inspiration to be creative every day, or almost every day. So I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you got a chance to check out the video that I posted yesterday about the journal I won, because the journal is absolutely gorgeous, has a bunch of rich fabrics in it, and it is definitely worth checking it out. So do that. And before we get started, be sure and hit that subscribe button with that little bell, because there's a lot of great videos coming and you don't want to miss out. So today's video is we're going to talk about how to alter envelopes into a book of pockets to store all of our paper leftovers or our ephemera that we've made up ahead of time. Just a book of pockets from envelopes. And I hope you like my idea, and let's just jump into it. I was checking out my stash of stuff, like we all do. And I mean, this is just like maybe a 16th of all the envelopes I have. I have so many envelopes, it's crazy. So I thought, what can I do with these? I need to get rid of, I need to use some of these up. How can I do this? So I've got a couple of ideas, and the idea today that I wanted to share with you is to actually make a book out of envelopes and to store stuff, because we always need storage for the little bits of paper we have left. Because I know I'll sit up here and tear book pages and music paper and all that, the base papers as I call them, and I'll have little bits all over my desk. I keep those, but I put them in a drawer behind me, and then they get lost. So I need somewhere to keep those. Tickets that I've maybe stamped on, they're ready to go to the next level. Stuff like that. Maybe tags that, again, they have base papers or stamping on them, but they're not quite all the way. I need somewhere to store them so they're at my tip of my fingertips like that. So I thought, well, you know what? Great use for envelopes. Since you put things in envelopes anyway, let me make this envelope book. So I'm going to use up what I had. But of course, being a crafter and being extra, okay, I had to make some envelopes too. Like, I couldn't just already use the ton I have. I had to make some. So to make the envelope is super simple. I took a regular envelope and I took it apart. And you might be going, how in the heck did you get it apart without tearing it? You can use dental floss or wax thread. And just what you do is, one, before you take it apart, mark the flap with a T for top or F for flap, just so you'll know and you don't get confused. Then all you do is, I'm going to move the camera down now so you can see. So to take an envelope apart with dental floss or wax thread, all you do is start at the beginning and just work it all the way through. And it actually comes off pretty clean. And then I just laid this on my paper, laid it out on my scrapbooking paper, and traced around it. That was it. And then I had my T for top or F for flap, and I marked it on the inside of my paper as well. You can see right there. You can see the T for top or flap. And then I just folded it up, taped it, and I have a really cute envelope. And I made two this size. I did the same thing. I took apart some envelopes I had. I had a vintage business a few years ago, and I had it for a long time, and we would sell to office buildings and whatnot and decorate. Anyway, so I had envelopes for that business, and what I did, same method, I took my envelope apart with the help of my handy dandy dental floss, wherever it went, and I just, again, went down the edges, worked it loose, okay? Then I traced this on some scrapbook paper as well, and I made these cuties, okay? So you can do this with any envelope that you can get apart. It's simple, it's fun, and I did the long size, the regular size, and then I did a small one as well, just so I would have a few sizes. Because it's not enough having a ton of envelopes, you have to make more. Then I also went and pulled out some of my window junk mail envelopes just because. Because I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out and what I was going to do with this. Alright, so after, and I found these and I pulled these out. These are some little envelopes I bought off of Etsy a few years ago. Like I said, I have a ton of envelopes in my stash, so I was being major extra making some, but I wanted the color, even though I do have them like blues and yellows and green envelopes, but whatever. Okay, so once I pulled out all of these envelopes, I decided how cute would it be to make my altered envelope book of pockets and make the cover an envelope too. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because when you fold it in half, you could have a big pocket for big scraps of paper on each end. So I used just a white mailing envelope. It's 9 by 12 as my cover. And what I did was I folded it like we always do. And then to attach the envelopes inside, I did an accordion. And that's just, I folded a piece of paper. I folded a piece of paper into an accordion or a fan shape. Okay? And I taped one end down to each side of the envelope. And it's pretty straightforward. I taped one end down to each side so it's connected on each end of the accordion. There's a piece of it taped to the envelope, and I put it right in the center. So this is in the center, and each little fold is going to hold an envelope or two. That is your preference. Now, to make the accordion, I just took white copy paper, printer paper, and folded it. And then, like I said, just attached one end flat like that, and then the other end flat, and then what was left in the middle was where I'm going to put my envelopes. Super simple. When I got it made, I started putting envelopes in and figuring it will hold either one little fold will either hold one envelope or two. It's up to you. I was thinking one, because I'm going to be stuffing paper and stuff into these envelopes, and if I have two on a little fold, this book's going to get fat really fast, okay? So that was the first consideration. The second consideration was I was going to do a mixture in size. I was going to do this size for longer pieces, and these normal size for everything else. Well, when I went to put these in, these are copies of my business envelopes I had. They're too long. They hang out the top, and it's not a good look. So the business ones are out. Now, I can still use the junk mail envelopes or the mailers with the windows. I can still use these in this booklet, but I can't use the ones that I had. They're just bigger. So I could use these for some long pieces, but I'm not going to, because I decided to use those in a separate book that I'm going to show you in a minute. So this one is perfect for our little regular, I think these are probably 5x7s. Yep, 5x7 envelopes. And all I'm going to do is take an envelope, and I'm going to glue it or tape it, and I'm going to put the flat side out so I can label it. The envelope part, the opening is at the back, and I'm just going to attach it right there on that little thing. And then on the next one that comes up, the next little fold, I'm going to put another envelope. And I'm going to attach it. And then the next one. And I'm just rotating colors and everything, so it's just aesthetically pleasing to my eye. Doesn't have to be to anybody else's but me. And then another white one. And then I'm going to put a brown one because I have some craft envelopes, and those are always nice to mix in. And then I'm going to put, let's see, another white one because I have a lot of white ones. And then the other one I made. Okay, and there is 7 envelopes, and they're going to be all attached in my booklet. How cool is that? So let's attach them, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to pull them all out again. And you can use glue or tape. I'm going to use some tape. I have double-sided tape. I like to use double-sided tape. Okay, let me see if I can get you down a little bit more. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, here is the first side that I'm going to attach my envelope to. So I'm going to put my tape on that fold. And I'm going to measure out because I don't want to put too much tape. Okay, I'm going to take my tape off. I'm going to put it on in the center of this fold. Okay, towards the top, but at the kind of the center. Okay, and then I'm going to peel off the tape. And I'm going to come in with my envelope. And attach it. And that's it. Now my envelope is attached. Okay, I'm going to fold my envelope down. The second ridge, I'm going to grab that, fold it down, and I'm going to put some tape on that again. Same amount because it's the same size envelope. I decided to make it pretty consistent that way. I thought it would look better as I'm using it, maybe easier to flip through. Then I'm going to take the tape off again. And I'm going to attach a white envelope this time. And then attach it. And then there we go. There's number 2. And you go through and you just attach each one. And it makes a really cool booklet. So I'm going to do this real quick. Okay, we're at the last one, and I'm just going to put the last piece of tape down. And I kind of made them at varying heights. I didn't put them all in the same space. Again, because you're going to be filling these, I want them to each have room to really expand. I don't want to have to, you know, waste envelopes. I want these to be used. Okay, and then once you get it all done, you just close it up, and then you open it. And you start with your first one, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And how cute is that? So I've got 6 envelopes now to work with. Now, at this point, what you can do is stop and come decorate your cover if you want. And on the cover, it would be cute to put a smaller envelope or a bunch of smaller envelopes. You know, put our base papers, put a bunch of smaller envelopes as decor on here. Just because it is all about envelopes, you know, and make a cute cover somehow. Anyway, make your own cover, totally up to you. And then once you get it decorated, so I have some different sized papers, and the reason I wanted to do the envelope as the cover was because, look, I just put that big piece of music paper in there, and it's stored. Then in these little ones, I can put like altered Rolodex cards. So I can throw that in one. I can put bits and pieces of book pages and stuff in another one. Because those are things that get lost over in my drawer. In another one, I could put die cuts because die cuts get lost. So I will put die cuts in here. Then on these next ones, I could put tags. Some tags I have made up that I'm going to use at some point. I could put those in there. This one I could put... Okay, so the next one, we could put our paper dolls. Our altar paper dolls we did. We could put those in here until we're ready to use them. The last one could be wrappers, bingo cards, tickets, whatever you haven't used, you could put it in here. And it's a great place to store all the ephemera you've been making, and it's at your fingertips. And when you decorate the front, you just label them, or you could put little tabs with labels, and you just flip through, and you have a great organizational system for ephemera you've already made. Perfect. Now, what about these long envelopes that we made and decorated for our long pieces of paper that won't fit in a 5x7? Well, you could do the same thing with a different type of envelope, or you could fold the envelope instead of folding it that way. You could fold it long ways, okay, and then put them in that. They would fit in like that. So do the same system, only fold your outer journal cover as a hot dog instead of a hamburger. That's what we used to say when I would sub. Or instead of doing that with these, if you have big envelopes like these, like I do, just poke a hole in each corner and attach it with some keychain rings and use it like that. So let me get my little... Yes, I never did find my hole punch. I think I threw my individual one, the single hole punch, away. But I have this little one, which will work. Okay, so I'm going to put the corner in here and just kind of put it down there. Almost at the very end, but not quite. As you can see, it wasn't quite at the end. And I'm going to do it on both ends because that way things won't get out. Won't fall out, hopefully. Okay. Plus, they're going to get heavy, so you want at least two. And then you poke holes in the other one just to make sure they're lined up. I'm going to do it this way. You can do it however works for you better. So there, I've got them poked, both poked. So all I have to do is attach my key rings. But wait, stuff's going to fall out, right? So what you could do for this is you could make a closure by just putting a little bit of stick-on Velcro on both sides, and you have like little pocketbooks, okay? Very, very simple. Once you get your Velcro attached, you just get your key rings. Once you get your Velcro attached, you just come in with your key rings, attach them. And I got these at Amazon, so I will link them below because they're super easy to open. You just thread them through and close them up. Whoops. Okay, and then you do one on the other end too. And again, they just kind of, you just push them apart and then pull. And these are actually very easy to use. You just push them apart and pull, just like that, and they come apart. And then you just hook them together. And you can hook as many envelopes that will fit on here, okay? And you'll have a bunch, and you can hang them by one. But you need the two because when they start to get full, you'll appreciate that. You could also use the two to attach them into a... You could also attach them into a binder, and by using the clip, the rings, it won't tear the holes so bad. So that's another idea for the long pieces of paper. So we've covered short pieces and our altered goodies that we've done in here, our 5x7 envelopes, plus our cover is for the really big pieces because it is just a big mailing envelope itself. And then we have our longer envelopes, and these could be your junk mail envelopes. These could be your window envelopes as well for longer strips of paper, fabric, or whatever you want to put in there. Snippet rolls, cluster rolls go really good in these as well. Then you have a great storage system. I'm really excited to get this filled up. I mean, I'm just in love. And I loved making my own envelopes, even though I have a ton, because they're just so fun and springy. In fact, for some of the journals coming up that I'm going to make, definitely going to make my own envelopes. I'm an event planner, for those that don't know, and I have some weddings coming up. And as part of event services, some people get wedding journals to record their journey or to record their ceremony. And yeah, so I'll be putting together that. Also, some wedding showers coming up and baby showers. So lots of stuff coming up, guys. Be sure and subscribe. I'm also DIYing my bathroom. You don't want to miss that. Those mirrors are coming. I had a hiccup with them, but they are coming. Lots of stuff, guys. I hope you enjoyed our altered envelope book of pockets here, and I have more ideas for storing stuff coming up too. Guys, be sure and hit that subscribe button and that little bell. Give this video a thumbs up for me and leave me a comment. That really helps me as well. What is your favorite color envelope? Do you have a preference? Does it matter? Or do you like to make your own? Talk to you soon. Bye.